How's it going, man?
I'm doing good, mate. Doing good.
All right. Can you tell our fans what your name is and what do you do for a living?
Yeah, my name is Oliver Riera, and I'm an actor and improviser and a teacher and a part-time audio engineer. And I think that's about it.
Okay. All right, cool. Tell us a little bit about your acting and everything.
Okay. Well, I got started a couple years ago, and I got my audio degree, so I was always working behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. And I knew that I needed to do something that bigger than that. I felt like I would need to do something bigger. So I took my first acting class. It was Intro to Improv at the Rye Little Theater, I think, and we did our monologue. It was my first monologue ever, and after I did my monologue, everyone was like, "Oh my God, are you sure you're a beginner?" And I was like, "Oh man, I want more of that." You know, I just feed off of other people's energies, and it's great because my whole life I've never been able to share how I feel. I've always been closed in, you know, growing up where your parents say, "Oh, you can't, stop crying," or I wasn't allowed to be showing emotions, and so acting did that for me. Mm-hmm. For the first time, I could show my emotions truthfully, and no one would judge me for it. It was a great feeling.
Okay, so when you do this, how do you feel? Like, when you first did it, was you kind of nervous, or you just went all out with it?
I was nervous. Yeah, I mean, my hands were shaking before I knew I had to go up there and do my monologue, and so I was really nervous. But as soon as I started, I knew that if I just stayed in the moment, everything would just click together. And I'm the type of person that wants to do the best I can when I show people stuff. Okay. And so I think that's what drives me to just do the best I can, pretty much, and that just shows.
Mm-hmm. So what advice would you give someone else, like who's feel like they're trapped and like was in your situation? What would you tell them so they could come out their shell to say? What would you tell them?
I would probably tell them, like, as long as you know what you want to do in life, as far as even an actor or anything, just take that first step. That's all it takes, really. I mean, it really does take believing in yourself. You know, if you were in a coma and then you wake out of it and someone told you that you used to be a Navy SEAL, you would probably take life training back in that Navy SEAL mentality. So if you want to be an actor, you have to really believe that you can do it. Yeah. And don't have any fears, because fears is what's going to hold you back.
That sounds pretty much accurate, man. Yeah. So you teach classes, right?
I do.
Do you enforce that in your acting classes, or can you tell us a little bit about your acting classes and everything?
Absolutely. Yeah. I teach acting for little munchkins, and then adult improv and kid improv, and it's the same mentality. I mean, I love acting because it shows they always have to fight for something. Actors always have to fight for something, and it has to be truthful. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of scene it is, even if you're a murderer or a serial killer, whatever, you're always fighting for something. And that's how everyone needs to be in life. You always have to be fighting for what you want. And what better way than to practice it than through acting, or improvising, It really teaches you how to live life, how to compare different characters and compare to your own life and how you can make yourself better. So I love it.
Okay, cool. Tell us a little bit about improv, because I think people kind of get a misconception of improv. There's rules to improv, right?
There's definitely rules to improv, and once you know those rules, you could probably, to a certain extent, you could break them, of course. a lot of people say, oh, I'm not funny. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. You know, it's like you're an actor, right? And you don't think you're funny, so you can't do improv. But you can, because it's the same thing. You look at a script and say a drama, right? The two couples fighting. And in order to make it funny, what are they fighting about? Oh, it could be a fire hydrant. They're fighting about a fire hydrant. You know, that's what makes it funny. It's in improv. It could be a normal person in a crazy world, or a crazy person in a normal world, and that just takes people in different elements.
So do you have like a certain place you go when you do improv? Like, is there a certain character you bring up, or does it change with you?
It definitely changes. I mean, because in improv, you step up to the stage and you don't know what the other person's going to be saying. And so it all depends on what they say. He could be like, you have got to be the craziest clown I've ever seen. And then, bam, he gave you that gift. So now you're the crazy clown. And how can I take that crazy clown and heighten it each time? You know, mm-hmm. That's what makes it funny. Mm-hmm. You just find crazy ways to do it. And your mind, every time you do improv, you start to be creative. You get more creative every single time, to the point where it's second nature to you. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you had a background in audio and all this stuff, right? Did that give you a more of a sense of awareness of what to do, like when you're on set or when you're in front of a camera? I mean, is that just because you know what it takes to make it? Did that give you like an edge, you think, or?
I think the only way it really helped me is knowing like where the mic is, and making sure I don't, mm-hmm. bang it and stuff like that. Being aware of where the mic is and mm-hmm. compared to where the camera is and stuff. Don't want to accidentally hit it and stuff like that. So just being aware of your surroundings, mm-hmm. pretty much.
Okay, so you do stage, you do theater too, right? You do theater. Yeah. Which one do you like the most? Out of everything you do now, which do you like the most?
I am going to answer that, and I don't know if people are going to hate me for this, but I am going to say they're both equal.
All of them?
Yeah.
Theater, improv, acting,
yeah.
all of you can do?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because, like I said before, you're always going to be fighting for something. And that's what I live for, is to go for it. Just commit. Especially in improv, you have to commit. If you don't commit, even slightly, if you're like 95% committed, it's not going to kick in correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what would you like to do, let's say, 5 years from now? What do you see yourself?
5 years from now, I just want to be continuing to grow. I'm not going to say too much about it, but I will say that I will never stop growing. And that's another key, because if you stop growing, you stop living. Mm-hmm. And I can't have that. I'm always striving for the next thing, especially like, people who work in a corporate environment, in a cubicle or something. I can't do that day after day. I have to have something that makes me, go up the ladder somehow. And so I just want to grow in the next 5 years and just see where it takes me, because I think I could go far.
That's cool, man. I agree with you. So give us a little background on where you do your classes at, so people know how to get in contact with you, and everything you do, so they know exactly where to go.
Sure. You could find me. I'm teaching classes at Moonlight Stage Theater, and that's moonlightstageco.com. And there we'll have new classes coming up in January. They're going to be posted in December. That's going to be stand-up. There's going to be improv, acting, of course. And so you could find all that information on that website.
Okay. I know because parents ask me all the time. They ask me about stuff. Do y'all have like an age limit when you come in, or is it?
There's different levels of age
Okay.
limits. We have, for Munchkins, the age group is between 7 and 11, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I believe it is 7 to 11. And then we have like the teen improv group or acting. I think it's like 12 through 17 or something like that.
Mhm.
And then the adults.
Mhm.
So that's how we break it down. It doesn't matter how old you are.
Okay.
So you could be 60, 70 years old and come in and take a class, of course. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, sound good. So can you give everybody your where they can follow you at, Twitter, Facebook, everything like that?
Yeah. You can. I think my Twitter is Oliver_Riera, Riera, and Facebook is just Oliver Riera. So,
All right. Thanks for having you.
no problem, man. Thank you.
All right.
All right, let's get out of here now.